Everybody heads down. Stand up.
Stay down.
Stand up.
Everybody just stay down, okay? So get crazy.
So this happened in New York City during Ramadan. A group was holding an anti-Islam protest. They were out there because they're worried about radical elements growing in the city, which a lot of people feel after the last few years. While they're protesting, police say two Muslim men threw what looked like fuse devices, basically homemade explosives filled with nuts and bolts for extra damage. NYPD arrested both guys right away. This isn't some made-up story, it's on the police report. And it fits into the bigger picture. After years of loose border policies, more incidents like this keep coming up, and people are getting frustrated. The left usually jumps in quick to call anything critical of Islam hate speech or bigotry, but when something violent actually happens to Americans who are just speaking out, the coverage drops off fast. Trump's team is pushing deportations for people who pose threats like this. It's not about religion as a whole, it's about keeping violent radicals out. Watch this.
At approximately 12:38 p.m., a counter-protester, identified as Amir Balat, an 18-year-old man, lit and threw an ignited device toward the protest area, landing in the crosswalk of East 87th Street and East End Avenue. Witnesses reported seeing flames and smoke as it traveled through the air before it struck a barrier and extinguished itself a few feet from police officers. Mr. Balat then ran southbound on East End Avenue toward 86th Street and gets a second device from a man tentatively ID'd as Ibrahim Nick, 19 years old. Mr. Balat lights the device and starts running with it. He then drops the device on the west side of East End Avenue between East 86th and East 87th Streets. Officers immediately secured the area and they took both men into custody.
That's what the NYPD confirmed. Devices thrown, arrest made, clear intent to hurt people. The scary part is how little attention this gets compared to other stories. If the roles were flipped, say someone threw something at a pro-Palestine rally, it would be wall-to-wall news for days. But because it doesn't fit the diversity is always good line, it just fades away. That's the double standard that's making a lot of regular people angry. Trump's deporting more threats now, and honestly, after seeing stuff like this, most Americans would say it's overdue. This is from the same day in New York. Jake Lang, who's been vocal against radical Islam, shows up at the anti-Islam protest with a roasted pig on a spit. He knows pork is forbidden in Islam, so it's obviously meant to provoke. He's basically saying, this is still America, we do what we want here. The crowd, Muslims and some left-leaning people, immediately gets very angry, pushing, yelling, some physical scuffles. Lang keeps repeating this is my city while holding his ground. It's not hard to see why he did it. A lot of people feel like parts of the city are changing fast because of immigration, and they're tired of feeling like they have to tiptoe around certain groups. The left calls actions like this hateful or inflammatory, but others see it as standing up for free speech and not letting any one religion dictate what can happen in public. Watch this.
Against that shit. Fuck you, Fat 47. Fuck you and the camouflage bullshit. Fuck you and the leather jacket. Get the fuck out of here.
Walk
this
up
is
there,
not the right city.
This is my
Not
city.
the right city.
What's up, Forrest?
Walk
I
up,
got a
motherfucker.
big roast here, guys.
I see that.
You know you're protected because there's cops around here. Keep running your mouth. Keep running your mouth, beta boy.
You don't know. New York City's my
White
city.
supremacist tattoos. White supremacist fucking flag out there. Get out.
Go. Hey, you're not going to do shit but run your mouth, you beta.
Yes, I am. Beta. Jesus Christ. I'm smarter than you. You measure things in terms of whiteness. I'm more white than you. I have more money than you. I'm not here to fight you. I'm not fucking here to fight you.
It's clear the pig set them off and it led to physical shoving without anyone getting seriously hurt in this part. The left often calls stuff like this provocative or hateful, but Lang sees it as defending free speech in public. Either way, it highlights the real tensions in diverse cities right now. So the Iran war is basically over. Trump and Israel hit hard, took out key leaders, and the regime is in bad shape. During the fighting, the UK under Keir Starmer stayed on the sidelines. He wouldn't let American planes use British bases like Diego Garcia, said the UK wasn't getting involved in offensive strikes, and a lot of people saw that as him trying not to upset certain voters back home. Trump called him out publicly, said the UK was uncooperative, and this is not Winston Churchill we're dealing with. Now, after the worst is over, Starmer announces the UK is sending 2 aircraft carriers to the region. It's a big shift. In his Truth Social post, Trump basically says, fine, but we don't need you anymore. We'll remember you didn't help when it mattered. Fox News covers it here, showing how Starmer's under pressure now to look like he's contributing after sitting it out.
The battles in the Middle East are now drawing a response from London. The UK is preparing one of its 2 aircraft carriers for possible deployment, with the crew ordered to be ready to sail in just 5 days. That move could put the Royal Navy in position in the Mediterranean as Britain looks to protect its forces and interests. Stephanie Bennett is in London with more on that. Stephanie.
Hey, John. Yes, things intensify in the Middle East. You have that British aircraft carrier preparing for potential deployment. And you've also got American B-1 bombers landing at RAF bases here in the UK today and also yesterday. The HMS Prince of Wales is currently in Portsmouth, with UK news outlets suggesting it could sail to the Mediterranean or the Middle East. The crew reportedly has been told, quote, they must be ready to leave in 5 days. Meanwhile, the UK Ministry of Defense says the United States has started using British bases for specific defense operations to prevent Iran firing missiles into the region. Starting last night into today, several American B-1 bombers could be seen landing at RAF Fairford in Gloucestershire. In addition, RAF Typhoon and F-35 jets have continued their operations over in Jordan, Qatar, and Cyprus and the wider region in defense of British interests and allies, of course. But the UK government has been accused by some of not acting fast enough. It comes after the RAF base in Cyprus was struck by a drone. HMS Dragon will be deployed there, but it won't be ready to leave the UK until next week, they say. Officials say Britain has been deploying more assets for several weeks, though.
Trump's post is pretty direct. We don't need them any longer, but we will remember. He's not wrong, the UK held back when the fighting was active, and now they're sending ships when the outcome's clear. Starmer's probably feeling the heat from his own side and from the US to show he's still a reliable partner. The left in the UK and here tends to frame that early hesitation as wise or avoiding escalation, but it looks a lot like waiting to see who wins before committing. Trump's not letting it slide, and honestly, most people would feel the same if their ally bailed during the tough part. It's politics, but it's also about trust. Now, this happened on a Southwest flight from Nashville to Fort Lauderdale. A passenger described as Arabic-looking starts yelling that he's going to bomb the plane. People are scared, hands up, flight gets diverted to Atlanta, SWAT comes on board and takes him into custody. It's one of those moments where everyone on the plane is thinking, is this real? We don't know the guy's full background yet. But these kinds of threats tie right into the bigger issue. After years of loose border control, there are more reports of people with extreme views getting in. The left usually says don't connect dots or it's just one person. But when it happens on a plane full of families, it's hard not to worry. The media didn't give it much play, probably because it doesn't help the immigration is always positive angle.
Let's go. Stand up. Everybody heads down. Stand up.
Stay down.
Stand up.
Ready to stay down, okay? So get ready.
You can see the fear on those passengers' faces. Nobody should have to go through that on a regular flight. The guy was threatening to blow up the plane, yelling anti-American stuff, and SWAT had to move fast. The fact that this barely made headlines is frustrating. If it had been a different kind of threat, it'd be non-stop coverage.